Hi there, it's Adam bringing you another video to the channel on the 21-2022 UK Model Airport Series. Before getting to the update, I just want to go through a couple of airlines that I'm looking to sort of bring in and put on the schedule. So, first airline is Ethiopian Airlines. Back in the day I had an Ethiopian A350, which I since sold. It's one of them, sort of choices you make and you kind of regret it a few years later. But look, NG, Phoenix, I'm pretty sure, maybe even some other manufacturers, I'm not sure, have released Ethiopian Airlines. So I'll be looking to maybe bring them in. That's probably going to be more of an afternoon schedule. And also Virgin Atlantic. Look, I know the 787 Dreamliners Virgin tend to operate down south, but in the meantime, for whichever models I can get hold of, I'll probably schedule in. And looking at Flight Radar 24, some of the Virgin Atlantic schedules kind of work quite well with the schedules I already have, so it's not really going to conflict too much with other movements. And again, whichever airline I try and schedule in, I'm trying to fill in blanks. I think I asked in another update previously, if you've got any sort of airline suggestions, put them forward. Of course, I think Norse Atlantic as well. I've put in a request to try and get hold of one of them. The G registered Norse Atlantic. So I'll probably schedule that in. I do like that livery, and I think that's probably the biggest selling point for me. In terms of airlines that I want to bring in, I've got to like the livery. Look, there's a lot of airlines out there, especially that fly to Heathrow, that I could put in, but again, it's more expense and trying to fit them into schedules and trying to incorporate them into the setup I've got with this can be a little bit tricky. But yeah, in the meantime, Ethiopian, Virgin Atlantic and Norse Atlantic are three airlines that I'm probably looking to bring in as well. So a little bit of information there that you probably wouldn't otherwise know. We'll get into the actual update. We have got, this is morning update based on Tuesday morning schedules around about 6 o'clock in the morning. So it is going to be, this is probably a busy update in terms of aircraft being on stands. Not an awful lot of activity, I will just point out, because it is quite early and some of these aircraft don't go out until about an hour, 2 hours time. Some even 4 hours time, which we'll kind of go through the scheduled departure times just to give you a bit of an idea. So arriving, starting off, we have this Aer Lingus A321neo. So this is previously featured, since it's the only one we have that is Golf registered. Operating as EI45, this is doing the regular service from New York JFK. Registration Golf Echo India Romeo Hotel as EI45. Taxiing in. In my mind, this is going to sort of position on stand to the left, even though there's actually not any stands physically there. But with the markings I've done with the arrows and stuff, which you can probably see on the screen on the video, that there is kind of like an overflow of stands that side. So there is that possibility in terms of imagination that I've got, that I can work with. So I'm going to go with that. I know previously it featured on the far side where this EasyJet A321neo is. Again, I'm trying to rotate things, the best I can, just to try and accommodate. So following on from last update as well, I had the question about when should I rotate models. I decided, because this came in, this flight returned in the early hours of the morning, I thought I'd rotate this now. So previously we had the A320neo, and now we've got in a sense upgraded to an A321neo on the return flight, operating as U28831. registration Golf Uniform Zulu Mike Bravo, operating. We'll be heading out to Bodrum at 7:10, scheduled departure. Then we have the EasyJet A319, which we previously saw on the Monday schedules, registration Golf Echo Zulu Delta Kilo, operating as U28909, heading out to Pula. This is going to be on a scheduled departure of 10:10, which, as I just mentioned, some departure times are a little bit later than others, which again adds that kind of diversity in a sense. And we've got a couple of Ryanairs, so we've got the sort of Irish registered Ryanair EI Echo India, Echo Victor India. Again, one of the night stoppers that we previously saw, operating as FR7805. This will be departing to Athens on a scheduled departure time of 8 o'clock, or 0800. And then we have the Golf UK registered Ryanair Golf Romeo Uniform Kilo Alpha. This will be going out to Agadir as RK861. Scheduled departure 7:35. Again, the sort of Golf registered Ryanair, that's going to be solely, it's the only Golf registered Ryanair we currently have in 100 scale, so that'll be standalone. The EasyJet A319 and Ryanair Irish registered are going to rotate throughout the day, so when they fly out, and then the return leg will rotate the aircraft frames then. And now for pan across, on the far side, a couple of Jet2 holidays. So the Jet2 757-200, again one previously featured Golf Lima Sierra Alpha November. This will be heading out to Corfu as LS259. Again, this arrived, or both the Jet2s actually arrived in the early hours of the morning, and they've both got the same scheduled departure time, 7:15. And then previously we had the normal sort of colours Jet2 in the sort of grey, silver, red colours, but now we have the Jet2 Holidays 737-800 Golf Juliet Zulu Hotel Alpha, operating out to Rios as LS121. Again, this was one of the early hour arrivals in the morning, so instead of arriving the day before, again it arrived early hours, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, probably like towards 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And again, following on from last update, obviously we have these two night stoppers, which are both TUIs. We've got Golf Foxtrot Delta Zulu Yankee. This is operating as BY3260 out to Alicante for a scheduled departure time of 7 o'clock. So about an hour's time that'll be heading out. And then we have BY3254 TUI 737 MAX 8 Golf Tango Uniform Mike Alpha, heading out to Rios, pretty much getting ready for departure, not far away for a 6:30 schedule. Again, I'll probably rotate these throughout the day as well, when they sort of return on their afternoon flights. So stay tuned, obviously, in the coming updates. Yeah, frames will be rotating, so we'll kind of keep that flowing. Taxiing in, again, due to the stands being filled, pretending that kind of stands go further than what they do in a visual sense, and that this Qatar is actually going to position somewhere else. Now, I know usually I would have the Qatar stuff positioned where the TUIs are. Based on the schedules, there are some conflicts in a sense where I can't accommodate for that. Otherwise, the TUIs won't feature and stuff like that. Or, I mean, I could switch it around day by day maybe. I think the other days though, going forward, the Qatars might position more on the left side. but we'll go. So I'm not really too fussed. I'm trying to keep things in sync where certain airlines position where they normally would, but I'm not looking too much into that, to be honest. But the Qatar is arriving as the regular QR31 service from Doha, registration A Alpha 7 Bravo Charlie Mike. And then instead of the 748 that we previously saw in the morning, we have this UPS 747-400 freighter, registration November 572 Uniform Papa. Again, like the last schedule, like the last UPS schedule, arriving from Cologne in Germany, but departs back out to Hong Kong. 6:50 departure, so not that long until that will get pushed back, operating as UPS 4. I'll be honest, the original schedule was going to be another 748, but I realised it was the Queen of the Skies sticker, which was only applied in 2023, so I had to sort of withdraw that registration because it wouldn't really be active. I mean, the frame was active in 21-22, but strictly not with the sticker, if that makes sense. And that is Tuesday morning schedule. So yeah, just a little bit of a recap. We've rotated already one of these jets and one of the Jet 2s. Going forward, as we progress through Tuesday, the other EasyJet, the Irish Ryanair, both TUIs, and the other Jet 2 will probably rotate. I kind of thought I'd stagger it a little bit because I thought rotating all the aircraft at the same time would be a little bit unrealistic. So I'm I'm going to do that. I'm going to stagger them. There might be some days where I think, you know what, we'll leave that in. And then rotate again maybe another time or something like that. But yeah, just going with the flow. In each update, you'll see the variation as we progress, and things like that. The schedules going into Tuesday are similar to Monday. I think the timings are pretty similar. So the next scheduled update will be towards 8 o'clock. Again, should follow on next weekend for the next update. So again, thanks for watching. Obviously appreciate any comments previously, and hopefully it won't be too long before we start seeing the airlines I mentioned, Ethiopian, Virgin Atlantic and North Atlantic, in the schedules.